What am I to do?
Welcome to He Said, She Said Razor Branding Podcast with Michael Russo and Jaci Russo. To learn more about how to improve your brand, visit brandRUSSO.com.
I was going to welcome all of you to the podcast, but I need you all to understand a little bit of the challenges of my life right now. So Michael and I, we record the whole episode and then we go back and add the introduction after we've had the episode so we know what we're going to talk about. I want to give a visual or audio clue to Reagan, our editor, so that she knows where the breaks happen in these things. You know, I'm just trying to be a helpful teammate, y'all. And so I clap so that Reagan can see when it's time for her to pay attention again to the editing process.
Can't hear the clap.
I get that. We have these super fancy microphones, so nobody can hear the clapping. So here's the situation I need you all to visualize. We've just finished this really great conversation. I'm clapping. You can't hear it, so it looks like I'm having some sort of a weird dance break moment without any audio. Michael starts making fun of me, and now I've got to record this really good introduction for you all. My job is very difficult. That's what I want you to know.
Oh, look, and I do appreciate it somewhat out of context because when this airs, I have no idea. But like we did a conference yesterday, and I spoke at it, and I'm so used to I'm like basically color commentary on here, and I was by myself on the stage, and I realized we actually did a panel first, and that was great because there was other people. But then when I was by myself, and I'm not a stranger to being on stage in front of people, and I was fine with normally doing that. But man, I felt like I crashed and burned in front of this audience. It was late in the day. Everybody was tired. I was a little tired too. Energy was a little down, I guess. And it just was like the longest 20 minutes of my life, I think. I was just up there.
And it was supposed to be 40 minutes, y'all. That's the best part of this whole chat.
Oh, I was just trying to get out of it. It was just,
I know.
I was getting nothing back. It was just, and I think, again, there was a couple of head nods every once in a while, but it was a long day of a lot of information, and I think that may have been part of it. And again,
it was.
Plus I think I just spiraled. Like I as soon as I saw that, I went to talk, I looked out, and it was just like nothing.
I want for the people who are listening to this and did not attend the Brand Break Marketing Summit, I want you all to know a couple things. One, we are so far off the topic of my introduction, I'm going to have to come back to it in a minute. Two, Michael did a great job. Three, Michael's absolutely hindered by me, who packed way too much into that schedule. I started going through some of the survey results today, and every single one of them talked about it was too much. It was too much. So we'll redo that schedule for next time. And there were a lot of positive comments about you and your session.
Nice. I think they were being
nope,
nice. But
I don't think they were just being nice. There were positive comments by name about you and your session. So you're being a little hard on yourself. You were good, but I definitely could have set you up for success better. I gave myself the prime 9 a.m. spot, but I do want to remind you, I asked you, which one do you want? And you picked the afternoon and then said you didn't care. Then you picked the morning and then you said you didn't care. So you got what you got and you don't pitch a fit.
I'm not. I'm putting that, I should have been better. I should have carried the audience. I should have lifted them up. I should have been more exciting, done a dance or something, had some music or something.
I would agree to all of that, but you were pretty good.
All right, thank you. All right, let's introduce our guest.
I shall get back to the introduction of our guest. So y'all are going to get treated to a conversation today with Sam Arcot with Rugo Stone. And I think that in all these conversations we've had, out of the hundreds of episodes, this to me is the reason why we do it. He is in such a very niche industry, as so many of you are. He's out here doing the heavy lifting almost primarily by himself, as so many of you are. And to hear him talk about how he's managing the marketing of all that, as so many of you are, it was just a great reminder that it's hard out here. It's a lot of challenges, and we do the best with what we've got. And so it's a really good conversation with somebody who I think is just out there every day doing the hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have a very unique business. I think it's rugostone.com.
Correct. RUGO.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. They do some really impressive work and like monuments and things in Washington, like really big things, church altars and just, it's not your average, they're not making tables. I mean, they probably do make tables, but they're making a lot of other things too.
But even tables, don't you think as we go through all of these podcasts, we realize how hard other people's jobs are?
Yeah. Yeah. Like we had to get, a kitchen top done and it took weeks, and 85 people to come in to install it. And it was just a marble
And it was
top,
still
whatever.
wrong. There was still a part that was done wrong.
Yeah. So I can't imagine having to do something more complicated than that, which all of that is more
Yes.
complicated. So,
Yes. I mean, we're talking about like Lincoln Monument kind of stonework. It's impressive, y'all.
yeah. And how do you marketing that? I think it always comes down to the same things we talk about, again, knowing your audience and, knowing who you are, knowing the why choose you, why is it important, knowing what you're going to say and knowing where you're going to say it. If you can have those things, it works out pretty well. But even like we talked about yesterday, I think at the conference, it was knowing those things and executing them are two different things. Because I would say them and they sounded very elementary to me. These are the things you do. But then people would ask questions and they were like, oh, I don't understand. I'm like, I don't know what you don't understand. Like it sounds easy when you do it, I guess, every day. But then when you have to look internally, it's harder, because I guess if we were doing it for the agency, even it would be harder because it's hard to look
It's hard to do
into
it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot stand inside your house and accurately see the house from the street. Those two things are not possible at the same time. And if you leave the house and go stand outside, it doesn't work that way because you've already been inside. So you got to have outside perspective sometimes.
Yep.
All right. The people did not come to hear us talk about this, although we should do maybe a whole episode just on brand break and that experience. But let's let them listen to Sam and all of his pearls of wisdom.
What am I to do when the day is through?
Sam, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me here.
Well, thanks for being here. As you and I have discussed, we really like to focus this podcast on marketers in challenging industries. I think anybody can sell Nikes and iPhones and toilet paper. I mean, those seem pretty easy to me. But the work that we do and you do every day, that's a bit of a challenge. So why don't we start by talking a little bit about Rugo Stone and what you do and kind of how you do it, and then we're going to talk about the marketing of it.
Sure. As you know, we are in the construction industry. Rugo Stone is a natural stone contracting company. We fabricate, we install, we restore natural stone. We operate nationwide, sometimes internationally. We do everything from producing countertops, walls, floors, statues, mosaics, multitude of things within the natural stone industry. And we are very involved with the Natural Stone Institute. I'm one of the board directors. It's an association for natural stone, international association. And we are very involved and we educate, we promote natural stone. We do everything within the realms of natural stone industry.
That's awesome. I mean, it's such a specialized industry. And I mean, architectural stone fabrication is not something everybody can do in their kitchen, I would imagine. I mean, I know I can't. And so there's got to be some specific tough challenges around marketing, especially when it comes to differentiating your company from other specialists in that space. So how do you set up that differentiation so that the architects and contractors and buyers who are coming to you know you're the creme de la creme, you're the best choice out there?
The biggest differentiating factor in our industry is the experience and knowledge that we have, and so does so many other experts in our stone industry.
Right.
It's important to realize that this knowledge and experience does not come from day one. So there's no company that can be best in our business starting day one. They have to learn and grow to a point where they can successfully execute projects. And I think the experience and knowledge is the key differentiating factor. And our company has combined experience of over 150 years within our team members. And the natural stone industry is so broad that the learning never stops. I've been doing natural stone. I've been in the industry for over 25 years, and I still keep learning every day. And so does my boss and others in our team. There's so much more to learn about natural stone industry. Just the realization that you don't know it all, helps a lot. And when people talk to us, architects, designers, construction industry professionals, when they talk to us, they respect us for the knowledge and experience we have, and they trust our expertise. I think that's where we start, selling natural stone.
Right. I mean, I know your business, just like our business, has a really long sales cycle. You don't meet somebody today and they're making a purchase by tonight. I mean, that's just not the way our businesses work. There's so much about them getting to know you and you getting to know them and really understanding their need and explaining to them how you can fit their need. And then we've got to get into pricing and timelines. And I mean, it's a lot. And so, how do you keep your messaging consistent and effective across all those different audiences you just mentioned?
Our key message to any prospect is that they have to use the right stone for the right application. That's where our engagement starts with our customers. That's where we focus on. We, regardless of what the request is, regardless of what they ask for, we study their request and we respond back to them saying, this is good or bad for what they're asking for, and we make the right recommendations. And from that point, they know that we care about the job, and we have some kind of expertise that they can potentially make use of and use the right stone for the right application. And we continue the journey from there to educate the client. And that helps a lot in building the foundation for a successful project.
That's
So
awesome.
that's kind of where we start.
I would imagine I have not had the opportunity to tour your facilities yet, but I bet it's really, really impressive. Not everybody gets to take that tour. So, how do you bring the tour out to them? How do you make them feel like they've seen the process and seen the craftsmanship and seen the work when they can't actually go to your property?
Well, we do have a CEU program, continuing education credits program for architects through the
Oh,
Natural Stone Institute. They can always schedule a tour with us, and we do promote every now and then to architects, inviting them to tour our facilities, and at the same time, they can earn credits for doing so. And it's roughly a 1 hour program in which we take a group of people through our shop. And our shop is typically filled with very interesting projects, nice statues. There are church restoration marble projects that are going on. They get to see over 150 years old stone being restored to look like new. Um, Very cool things. So we will plan to take the group to through our shop, our carving studio. We have a mosaic studio. We do a little bit of introduction sessions, information sessions with each of the department heads, and people get to learn a lot just by touring our facility,
that's
and they
cool.
can earn credits at the same time.
If they don't get to come to you though and take the tour in person, have y'all started to use any digital tools to kind of share the tour or aspects of the tour? Do you take videos? Do you send them out to people? How do you let people get a sense of the process when they can't be on site?
Mostly we do social media
Mhm.
stuff, videos, posts that show a little bit of our studio work almost every week. We push that out, and we have a lot of followers that look at these videos, and even for public to see and understand the type of work we do and the
Right.
quality of work we do.
That's good. We interviewed somebody a while back, and they've got a manufacturing facility like yours, and they are in such a highly competitive market that they won't allow any videos or photos of their process or even their completed work. And so I'm like, well, wait, if people can't tour the facility and you can't show what's happening in the facility, how do people choose you? So I'm glad that y'all have figured out a way to kind of share that. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we have trade secrets that we want to be protective of. At the same time, as you said, if we don't show the work, people won't know. I mean,
Right.
even with the amount of marketing that we do, we still get people that ask us, "Oh, we didn't know that you do this. We didn't know that you operate in other states." We have to advocate for our work, and we have to show people what we do. So
Right.
there has to be a balance between showing everything that you do and exposing your trade secrets versus showing enough to get people's attention.
Well, and I was looking at your gallery on your website, and some very impressive work, very large
Thank you.
Right.
projects, obviously. Is that from? Do you have artisans in house that specifically people come to you with ideas, or when architects come to you or artists come to you and say, I have an idea, are you taking their work and working with them on it? Or how does that relationship work and the collaboration work?
Well, it depends on the client and what they have for the specific project. Sometimes we have architects and clients that have a sketch or a photo that's whatever 100 years old, and they want to replicate something. We've gotten situations where a client wants a statue, but the face to be replaced with something else. So they will show us inspirational images, and we can work with anything. We can start from the scratch. We have artisans in-house that can develop ideas, sketches, concepts, designs, renders, you name it, we can do all that. Or if the client has a particular model they want us to replicate, we can start with that. Same thing with drawings. If they have a drawing, we can start with that, or we can visualize something for pricing purposes. We can put together a budget, and then we will develop the drawings for them. In a lot of cases, we are working with the churches that get renovated, for example. There's nothing to start with. The existing is existing, and we have photos of the existing. We have to develop some conceptual ideas, visualizations for them to understand proposed design and to inspire them
Mhm.
in the
Interesting.
process. Yep.
And we talk a lot about, the importance of really understanding your audience, understanding who it is that you're trying to meet, needs you're trying to meet. Obviously, with such a, this is not for everybody. This is people that are doing large projects. When you're dealing with stone, you're dealing with some really lifelong projects that you're putting out into place. This isn't an overnight thing. A lot of thought's probably been put into it. A lot of money's been put into it. So when you're talking about your ideal audience, who is it that you're trying to talk to?
The people that or our ideal client would be somebody that would appreciate natural stone, natural materials in general. If they have an appreciation for working with natural materials, they understand the longevity and the sustainability of using natural stone. They tend to value the product more and be an advocate for it, and it helps in building a successful project and sustainable project as well.
Is it architects? Is it business owners? Is it engineer? Like who are the main people that really tap into this type of detail?
Architects are our most valuable resource when it comes to clients and influencers, because when they love natural stone, they advocate for it, they promote and they use it. They appreciate using natural stone as being one of the most sustainable materials. And they architects, they use stone for multiple projects. So the relationship, once it starts, it keeps growing, and it goes on for years and years. We have a lot of architects, fortunately, and we are very grateful for the relationships.
One of the things as y'all are talking, and I'm really thinking about, is the relationships. We talk to a lot of people in the B2B space about how important relationships are. And I feel like there's always this sort of tight balance between having and building relationships. So you hire people because they bring relationships with them. You send people out to trade shows and conferences because they can build new relationships. And then the conversation that you just repeated to us a second ago, where someone said to you, I had no idea you existed. I had no idea you did this, which requires a bigger, broader effort of brand awareness and ongoing marketing. And so I think some companies treat those two things as opposites. I'm going to do one or the other. How do y'all find a balance between the two, or you lean more towards one or the other, or are you able to do both?
To put it exactly in your words, you rightly said that companies do lean in one way or the other. We lean towards building the existing relationship. We wish we could do a better job in promoting the message to new clients, but most of our resources are spent in maintaining and nurturing the relationships we already have. Uh, we do we do put in a little bit of effort in, visiting trade shows, exhibiting at trade shows, developing new relationships. That's ongoing, but most of our resources are focused on helping the relationships we already have to grow and to nurture them.
Okay, good. That's good. And I think that you bring up a good point. It is about kind of figuring that out on an ongoing, steady basis. There's no set it and forget it. You can't do it one time and done. You've got to keep that going, nurturing the relationships and building the brand awareness. Both of those things have to be done in an always ongoing process, you know? So,
Exactly.
one of the things that we always think about is brand reputation. And so, you've got all of this great work. You've got some trade secrets that you've got to keep protected. You've got these valuable relationships that you want to continue to harbor and nurture. And all of that kind of shapes your reputation. And so, what visuals or messages or things have you done that you feel like have helped to build that? And have you ever run into a challenge where something happened that started to hurt that?
Um, I don't understand the second part of your question. What challenges?
Sorry, do the first part first. And I complicate things by asking three
Okay.
questions in one sentence. That's on me. I
Uh,
apologize, Sam.
our president always says our work speaks for itself.
Hmm.
That's our best marketing message. We have great examples of work that's sustained for years and years in the past and into the future. And that's those are our best examples, and we share them with our clients. And everything points back to one or more projects that we've done in the past. We have great experience in all segments of our industry to be able to share great examples. And I think that's the key message.
Right.
Those are real world examples that we can share to show our success.
I love that. We worked with a client out of Canada years ago, and similar business. They were wood though instead of stone, and they felt like the architect and the contractors and the engineers and all of these other people involved in the project kind of got credit in a lot of ways for their work because they were doing all the mill work. And so you would go into an embassy or a hospital or a courthouse or a library, and all of their wood, was the visual that was like, wow, so compelling. But everybody praised the architect or the contractor, not realizing the millwork company actually did all the work. And so we worked out a system for them to kind of get credit, to get more recognition in a really cool kind of a subtle way. It's one of my favorite projects. So what do you do when you're working with so many different partners, architects, engineers, general contractors? How do you ensure that your role in the project gets the visibility that it deserves?
We have run into situations where there's articles written and photographs taken and a lot of appreciation shared. And sometimes, most of the times, we'd be credited. There are cases in which our name would be left out. We don't have time to worry about that. Yeah, and honestly speaking, we cannot expect 100% to be credited all the time. We are grateful for where it happens, and if it doesn't happen, we still appreciate the teamwork that goes into the project. It's not just our work that created the success.
Right.
We advocate for ourselves. I think that's the way we try to battle that situation. Again, the relationships help promote the message and to get the recognition that we or any team partner would recognize and
Right.
deserve. We do the same for other partners as well. We credit them where and when possible and when they deserve it.
Yeah, no, and I think that's good. What is your process for the photography and videography and storytelling around your projects? Do you have someone who captures it obviously on site as it's being built, but once it's moved onto the location where it's going to live, do you go there personally? Do you send people? How do you capture that, kind of before and after installation and the glory and beauty once it's done?
Yeah, documentation is a key part of our marketing, and we wish we could do a lot more than what we are currently doing, but it's a process. All the project managers we have, they are required to document the project. Even if not for marketing, it's required for our documentation purposes. Throughout the project, we have to document every stage before, during, and after. Mostly it's the after part that gets used for marketing. And yeah, back around 2014, we used to hire a lot more photographers than we do today because I became one now, and I shoot a lot of photos and videos for our marketing. Um, so we still use external photographers. We hire
Mhm.
them as needed. We purchase photos. We also document photos in-house. We take photos in studio as work gets completed, um, and we put together videos of all kinds. Anything that can inspire people to use natural stone.
Right. Do you attend a lot of trade shows and conferences? And if so, how do you bring your work into that kind of a venue?
We do attend a few trade shows. Some are industry trade shows, some are architectural in nature, and we bring samples of our carvings, mosaic, some stone samples, brochures, handouts,
Mhm.
and some slideshows. Pretty much anything again to inspire people to see and appreciate natural stone.
Right.
And
Do you ever
we
go to those shows and have kind of a process? I know one of the things we've noticed that's really helped our clients lately is we do a lot of pre-show connecting and networking, and then obviously during the show, and then post-show follow-up. So what's your process been to maximize those shows?
we try to present in trade shows where we can because we offer CEU courses, and
Hmm.
when there is an architectural show, we promote and if we get a chance to present CEU class, we offer around 19 courses from the Natural Stone Institute, and
Nice.
we try to present in these venues. Architects get credited. They get credit. They can earn credits by attending these CEU presentations,
Hmm.
and we get the list of attendees. We follow up later and start a conversation with them about potential projects they may be working on. And even if not that, we would still get a list of attendees, and we'd do a post-show follow-up and introduce ourselves and start a conversation
That's
and
awesome.
keep in touch. Most of the time, architects may have some projects down in their pipeline. They may request samples, or we offer free consultation on projects. Um, Sometimes it starts with a consult. They call us and they ask a question about a project. Hey, by the way, great to meet you, and I have a project that can potentially use natural stone. What kind of stone could I use for this project? Design questions, technical assist. We do all
Right.
that. We spend quite a bit of time. We love working with architects, of course, and we value their relationships. So even if we don't get anything out of that, which happens quite often, we still do consult and we educate architects um, in the best interest of the project. Even if they go out and do something on their own, if they are not local to us, they prefer to work with a local vendor in their location. We still, share our expertise and we give them the right recommendations so they can build a successful project.
Right. No, that's great. Have you ever had a marketing campaign that didn't go well? Something that you thought this was it was going to be great, and then it kind of bombed on you?
The one effort we did in the past is carrying huge inventory of materials in addition to how we approach the architectural market. That apparently didn't go very well because it's not because of the needs and wants changing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are a custom stone contractor. We always chase the demands of our clients, and that understanding helped change our model a little bit. We cannot carry everything for our clients.
Right.
we are always in a better position to chase what our client needs and get them what they want than carrying something that they may or may not want and try to push that. So we went into the, chasing the demand model. So anything our client wants is what we want, and we will get them what they want.
Right. What do you think is next? How do you see your marketing evolving? What tools are you going to try next? What campaigns are you going to go after next? New projects? What's next for you?
Um, AI has been the trend, and we try to make best use of it. There's things still evolving and developing, but I think AI is a great step into the future. There's a lot of visualization that wasn't possible or very expensive in the past, and a lot of those capabilities have not been known, and those are being, more and more accessible for any design professional. Helps a lot in visualization of a project, and I think that's a great step, and it's going to help a lot in marketing as well.
Right. Right. No, I think you're right. Sam, you've been great. I mean, this is exactly what I was hoping the conversation would be. It's always awesome to get insight into a company that's as well known and well renowned as yours, to see kind of behind the curtain of your marketing process and how you're doing what you're doing. So thank you for giving us your time and your stories.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Michael and Jackie, for having
Don't
me
thank
here.
Michael.
It's a
He
great
barely
pleasure.
talked. Michael did no work here today.
You
He
wouldn't let
gets
me get a
no
word in.
credit, Sam.
Jackie, you just wouldn't. I kept waiting for a pause, and you kept jumping back in. So
Well, I was fascinated by what Sam had to say. There was no pausing necessary. All right, we'll thank Michael because he did show up, so that's always good. Sam, you were great. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
All right.
Thank you.
When the day